Good morning, students. Hope you have all done the worksheet by now. All right, the first question is multiply. The digits are given here. 8 fours are 32. Always remember, learn your tables well. 8 3 are 24, 25, 26, 27. 2 moves up. 8 sevens are 56 plus 2, 58. 5 goes up. 8 twos are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Now, where do you think you should put the decimal point? How many places do you see here after the decimal point? There are 2 DPs, 2 decimal places. So, your decimal point comes after 2 places. Now, let's move on to the second question now. Now, your next question is division of decimals. 8. Let's take 2 digits here. Well, we will have 24 in 8 times table. 8 times 3 is giving us 24. And you minus it. You get 1 left. There's nothing left here. Bring the 6 down. It becomes 16 now, okay? 8 times 2 gives you 16. Minus it. Now you've got a decimal point. Before you bring the 6 down, you will first shift the decimal point up and then bring the 6 here. Do you think your dividend is smaller than your divisor? This is smaller, right? So 8 times 0 is giving us a 0. Okay? And you're going to write down 6 here. Bring... we don't have any other number left, so we will add a 0 here. Okay, 8 times 7 is giving us 56. Of course, you have a 0 here, so we will borrow a number from here. It has become 4. You add up a 0 again. 8 times 5 is a 40. So now you have no remainder left. So if you have got this answer, even if you have got 32.07, your answer is still correct. Okay, I'll mark it right. All right, let's move on to the next part. The next question here, addition of decimals. 5 plus 4 is giving us 9. 8 plus 6 is giving us 14. Move up the 1 here. 9 plus 1 is giving us 10. And I'll bring up the 1 here. 7 plus 5 is giving us what, children? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and a 1 here, 13. Okay, so we have got 13.049. I hope you've all got this answer. In case you're going wrong, you can correct it. Moving on to the subtraction sum. Minus 5 from 2, of course, it's a smaller number to minus with. So we are going to borrow a number from here. This has become 2 and this has become 12. 12 minus 5 is giving us what? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I'm left with a 7 here. 2 minus 2 is a 0. Now, do you think 0 minus 6 is possible? No, not at all. So 0 will borrow a number from 3. This has become 2 and this has become 10. 10 minus 6 has to give us a 4 here. 2 minus 1 is a 1. All right, children, I'm doing it fast. I don't want to take too much of your time, so I'm trying to go faster. You are only here to check your answers, okay? In case if you are still not getting it, then you tell me. I will again explain you the question. All right, let's start with the LCM. Whenever you are given an LCM to find out, first we will think of the five prime numbers. Children, I've been explaining to you in the class also and in the videos also that always make sure to divide your numbers with the prime numbers. What are the first prime numbers? First 5 prime numbers. I will write it here, okay? 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. So I'll just put these 5 prime numbers in the bubble here. 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. So I start with 2 because I can see these 2 numbers can easily be divided by 2 times table. Why? Because we have the even numbers at the end. So 2 times 14 is giving us 28. 2 times 16 gives us 32. We move on again. Again 2 times table. 2 sevens are 14. 2 8s are 16. Again, we will move on with the same 2. Why? Because I can see 8 here. It can easily be divided by 2. So I will just drag this 7 down because 7 is not there in our 2 times table. 2 4s are 8. We again take 2. Why? Because I can see 4 here. So 2 times 2 is giving us 4. Again, we move on to 2. Drag down the 7 here. 2 times 1 is giving us 2. So what are we left with? The last prime number, that is 7. 7 times 1 is 7. And here we go. How do we find out the prime number? We have to just multiply the numbers that we have got here. How many 2's do you see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 2's are here. So I'm going to write down my answer here. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7. 2 2's are 4. 4 2's are 8. 8 2's are 16. 16 2's are 32. And 32 7's are, since it's a bigger number, 32 7's are. So we can do, we can multiply 32 7's are. Alright. We can't take any risk by multiplying the figure. Verbally. So it's better to just do the working here. Okay, 7 2's are 14. 1 goes up. 7 3's are 21 and 2, 22. So what will be our LCM? 224 is our LCM. Alright, moving on to the last question of this page. What is the decimal for 3 tens, 4 ones and 1 thousandths? I would suggest all of you to just put a decimal point first. Alright, we have ones here, we have tens here, and we have other numbers like hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, but since we have only 2 figures here, 4 tens and 3 ones, so I have written it here. Then what comes next? Tenths. Remember the tenths? Then hundredths. And then thousandths. Alright, so what do you think the 3 should stand? The 3 should stand in the tens column. 4 should stand in the ones column. Decimal point. Do we have any tenths or hundredths? No, we don't have any. So we are just going to put 2 zeros straight away. But we have a thousandth here, so we're going to write down 1 here. Hope I am explaining it to you in an easy way. I hope you have all understood. Okay. Now let's move on to the next side of the worksheet. Represent the following as decimal. Do we have any whole number here? No, we don't have any. So we're just going to write a 0 point. Since 9 is standing on 10. So there's a single 0 and this 9 should stand in the tenths. Just to explain you, just to make it easier for you to understand, I have put this number tenths. You need not to, but just to make it more easier for you guys. Okay. Now let's move on to 3 upon 100 here. 3 upon 100. What do you think, children? 3 upon 100. What do you think the answer should be here? We don't have any whole number, so we're going to write down a 0 here. Point. Where does the 3 stand on 100? 100 means it should stand in the second place of the decimal point. 10th and 100th. We don't have any number in the 10th, so we're just going to write down a 0 here. Since 3 is standing on 100, so 100th. 300th. Okay. Moving on to this question. We don't have any whole number again, so we just write a 0 here. Point. Where is the 4 standing? It's standing on thousandth. The thousandth means the third place of your decimal point. So if there is no number here, we just put a 0. 10th and 100th do not have any figures, just zeros here and 4 here. Moving on to the next part, we do not have a whole number, so we just going to write on 0.11, 10th and 100th. So 11 is standing on the 100th, so 100th place. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Alright students, convert the following times into 24-hour clock times. We have 6:25 a.m. 6:25 a.m. is the beginning of the day. Where when does the day start? At 1 o'clock in the night time. Okay, but it's actually a new day starting. So when the new day starts at 1 o'clock night time, it's a.m. It's the beginning of the day. The first hour is just passing. The first, and then second, and then third, and then so on and so forth. 6:25 a.m. is the morning time. So we will simply write 0, 6, 2, 5. But when I've given you another question, 3:30 p.m. When does p.m. start? After noon. Noon time is 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So the minute you see 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and when it starts from 12 on in the afternoon, we will change am to pm. You can see pm, it means it's very, very much understood. That's 3:30 in the afternoon time. So when you see a pm there, always remember to add up 12 hours to it. 12 plus 3 is giving us 15:30. It means 12 hours have already passed till noon, and then we will add up the 3 more to it, and then you get 15:30 as the answer. Okay, in 24 hours clock we do not write am or pm. Moving on to the next part. AM is understood again at beginning of the day, the morning time, early morning time, 5:15 a.m. It means that we will just add up a 0 here, 5, 1, 5, because only 5 hours and 15 minutes have passed of the beginning of the day. It's the beginning, right? Moving on to the last question here. 1:10 p.m. PM means it's the afternoon time. After 12 o'clock in the noon, it is the PM that starts. 1:10 p.m. 1 o'clock in the PM means it is going to be added to 12. 12 hours have already gone, so 12 hours plus 1 gives us 13:10. All right, let's move on to the next question. 4 whole 5 upon 6 minus 2 whole 3 upon 5. What do we have to do here, children? We will have to find out the LCM. So since I'm very much away from the working column, so I feel I should do my LCM here. Okay, so I'm going to find out my LCM. 6 and 5. We have to first find out the LCM of the two denominators. Why? Because the denominators are not the same. So let's find out the LCM and get the work started. So what are the 5 prime numbers? 2, 3, first 5, 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11. I take 2, 2 3s are 6, and I'll bring the 5 down. None of these numbers can be divided by 2, so I'll take 3 then. 3 times 1, and then 5 is left, and then I'll move on, of course, to the last prime number, 5. 5 ones are 5. So what do we get when you find out the LCM? 2 into 3 into 6. 2 3s are 6. Sorry, this is 5. 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. 2 3s are 6. 6 5s are 30. 30 is the LCM. So first, before we write down the LCM, we're going to minus the 2 whole numbers. 4 minus 2 is giving us 2. And 30 is our LCM. 6 times 5, 30. 5 times 5, 25. Whatever we write down here goes up here. 5 times 6, 30. So 3, 6 are, put the minus sign, 18. What do we get when we minus 25 minus 18? If you feel you might go wrong, you can just do the working like this. 25 minus 18. I'm going to borrow a number, and I get 15 minus 8 gives me 7, and 1 minus 1 is of course giving us a 0. So 7 upon 30. 2 whole 7 upon 30 is the answer. Let's move on to the next part of the worksheet. Alright, student, addition sum of your fractions. Okay, so we are going to first find out the LCM of 5 and 10. I will start with the smallest prime number, that is 2. It's 2. But 2 times table does not have 5, so I will drag down the 5. But we have 10 in 2 times table. 2 5s are 10. What are we left with? 5. 5, we'll take the prime number 5. 5 ones are 5. 5 ones are 5. 2 times 5 is giving us 10. Okay, so 10 is our LCM. Before we bring the denominator LCM here, we will first add up the two whole numbers. 5 plus 1, 6. What is our LCM? 10. 5 times 2 is 10, so 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 10 times 1 is 10, so 4 times 1 is giving us a 4. Okay, 5 to the 10, 2 to the 4. I just wanted to confirm whether I'm going right or I have done any mistake here. Anyways, so we are done with this. 6 comes here. 4 plus 4 gives us 8 upon 10. I've got my answer. I'm happy that I got the answer, but do you think this is going to be my final answer? Always remember, whenever you come across a numerator and a denominator which can be brought down to the simplest form, then you can give it a try. All right, so 8 and 2, they both can be cancelled by 2 times table. 2 what's us giving us 8, 2 times 4 is giving us 8, and 2 what's us giving us 10, 2 5s are 10. So the whole number 6 comes here. 6 whole, 4 upon 5 is the answer. All right, students, moving ahead with the second question here, the third question, I'm sorry. Find the perimeter of the rectangle. It's so simple. Always remember to write down the formula. What is the formula to find out perimeter? Perimeter is equal to length plus breadth plus length plus breadth. All right, let me bring this book a little closer to the camera. Yes, so you can make your length or breadth, any of the numbers to be your length or breadth. So I will just write down 5 plus 10 plus 5 plus 10. All, this and this are parallel to one another. So 10 and 10 and 5 and 5. Okay, so what do we do next? Add up the 5 plus 10. 5 plus 10 gives us 15. Plus sign, again add up the 5 plus 10, it gives you 15 again. So what do you get when you add up the two numbers now? 30 centimeters is going to be our answer. All right, moving on to the second part of question number 3. All right, my dear students, we have got to find out the size of the unknown marked angles. You can see a square here, and we also have a rectangle here. But do you know that rectangle or a square always have the corners, the 4 corners, they are the right angles. Right angles is exactly 90 degree. You have a right angle here, you have a right angle here, we have a right angle here, and we also have a right angle here. All 4 corners are your right angles. But what have I done here? I've just made a line in the middle of the square, and I have just explained that this much of the right angle, I have split it into 2 parts, and I have got this 52 degrees. What do you think the other unknown angle QRSB? So what is the answer? Simply minus it. How do you minus it? 90 degree is the right angle there. This is the right angle, and I will minus 52 degrees from it. Of course, 0 minus 2 is not possible. So what will I do? I will ask, or I will borrow a number from the partner. 10 minus 2 is giving us 8. 8 minus 5 is giving us 3. 38 degrees. So what do you write here? The question mark is, of course, a 38 degree. When you add up the 2, just give it a try. Add up the 38 and 52 and see if you are getting the same 90 degree. 8 plus 2 is giving us 10. 5 plus 3, 8 plus 1, 90. So isn't it giving us the same 90 degree? So what is QRS equal to? 38 degrees. Okay, Let's move ahead with the second part. Children, I can see a rectangle given here, and this time I have split it, this 90-degree angle, into two more parts. Okay, so what do we have to find out? K, G, L. This part of your 90 degree is 60 degree. This part is 15 degrees. This is basically your right angle, where this, okay, the vertex is here, and I can see the right angle. I'll show you. I'll just try to darken this up. This is your right angle. Now 60 degrees is already given, 50 degrees is already given, but this part is missing. It is so simple, children. First we're going to add up the two figures, 60 and 15. So where should I do it? I will try to bring my camera here. I will add up 60 and 15 together. 0 plus 5, 5, 6 plus 1 is 7. So it's giving me 75 degrees, but this is basically a 90 degree. So now when I've added up the two sides, I will now minus the 75 degree from the right angle, and everybody knows a right angle is equal to what? Very good, 90 degrees. So 90 degrees here and 75 degrees that we just added up. Minus this up. 0 minus 5, is it possible to minus? No. You will borrow a number, it becomes 10. This has become 8. 10 minus 5 is 5. 8 minus 7 is 1. So you got 15 degrees left. This basically was 15 degrees. KGL, angle KGL is 15 degrees. Did you get that? Let's check the answer. 75 degrees that we already got from adding up the two, and also we got 15, and when you add up all three we will get 5 plus 5 10, 7 plus 1 8, and 1 9. So haven't we got 90 again? So this is how it has to be done.